looks like it's gonna be a no-show. All right, that's nice. Oh, what? Again, I have a student that's late and I only have 10 minutes left. What am I supposed to do? It's really not fair. Or 5 minutes left? Really? I'm sure I'm gonna get a 0 or 2 for the rating. Has that happened to you before? It sure has happened to me many times. The student is late. What to do? Let me share my tips when the student comes late. My first tip, preparation. Something we all know. We should prepare a little bit before entering the class, if not even more. Sometimes lessons are a little bit more challenging and we should prepare much more. So let's say you thought it was a no-show, but then maybe the student is 10 minutes late, 15 minutes late. Well, think about this. You had 10 or 15 minutes in the class to prepare, maybe to help the student if he arrives late. So my first tip, preparation. Tip number 2, don't change your attitude if your student comes in late. Stay positive and keep that smile of yours that you usually have when a student is on time. You can say something like, "Thank you for coming in class. I thought I was going to be alone for 25 minutes. I'm so happy you came in class. How are you?" Tip number 2, stay positive. Tip number 3, show you care. If your student comes in late, give him the benefit of the doubt. You don't know why he's late. Maybe he had a lot of homework. Maybe when he came back from school he was sick and he was sleeping a little bit. We don't know. Maybe his mom told him to start his class a little bit later today. That's a possibility. So show you care by just asking your student, "Is everything okay? What happened? I was worried about you." So tip number 3, show you care. Tip number 4, so you prepared a little bit while you were waiting for your student. Your student arrived late, you kept a smile, then you showed your student you cared. Now, what are you going to do? Well, you can summarize quickly what the student missed and tell him what the class is about. And you can tell him, "You missed 6 slides, okay? But let's move on to the last few slides." And make sure you keep perhaps an activity slide for the student so that he still has a chance to use the whiteboard. So tip number 4, summarize quickly before teaching. Tip number 5, make sure you do a tiny summary. If you're covering a story, you could help the student remember the main character and what's the story about. If you're teaching grammar, you could just tell him what is the main idea of the grammar lesson he learned today and give him one sentence to remember, or the verb or the adjective. If it was just a regular session with a lot of vocabulary and sentences, pick 2 words from that lesson so that the student can remember. Make sure you do a tiny summary. That's my tip number 5. And then you can say goodbye and repeat again how you're so happy that the student came in class and that you hope that the next time he won't be late. That guarantees a little bit more a good rating from either the student or the parent. So I hope these tips helped you.